Hello guys, welcome back again. This video I will talk about Blazor. Blazor is just a browser and a razor. Um, it's, it lets you build interactive web UI using C# instead of JavaScript. Blazor apps are composed of reusable web UI components implemented using C#, HTML, and CSS. Both client and server code is written in C#, allowing you to share code and libraries. Blazor is an ASP.NET feature, and ASP.NET obviously is a very popular web development framework that extends the .NET platform. And the Blazor web application can be categorized into two. It's either running solely offline on a web browser, or you can leverage the power of your server using a signal out for the intermediary communication. So Blazor can run your client-side C# code directly in a browser using WebAssembly, which we will talk on in a later video. Because it's real .NET running on WebAssembly, you can reuse the code and libraries from a server-side parts of your application. Alternatively, Blazor can run your client's logic on the server. Client's UI events are sent back to the server using SignalR, a real-time messaging framework. Once executed, completes the required UI changes are sent to the client and merged into the DOM. So, most of you may recall a Silverlight application that Microsoft implemented some years back. That was supposed to work similar to Blazor, but the problem is the problem was the plugins. But with Blazor uses an open web standards without plugins or code translations. Now, Blazor works in all modern web browsers, including mobile browsers. Code running in the browser executes in the same security sandbox as JavaScript framework. So Blazor code executing on the server has the flexibility to do anything you would normally do on the server, such as connecting directly to a database. So rather than just talking too much, which I've actually done, we create a new project to see. First of all, we create the boilerplate, the one that comes with both the client and the server logics. So here we are. So if you've installed the latest .NET version, you will get this boilerplate that comes with it. So this actually leverages both the server power and the clients. So we will just go forward. So we're just gonna keep the name as it is. It's not necessarily important. So now when you go forward and you click on the create, you are prompted with the Blazor server application and the Blazor web application, the WebAssembly app here. So as you can see, you can write on the one application that works only solely on the client side using the WebAssembly, but you can also leverage the power of SignalR to build both the server, to merge both the server and the client. So for this tutorial, we will look at the server app for now, and then on the next video we will actually try to replicate the WebAssembly or the client one. So we select the Blazor server application, and then we remove the HTTPS. So we just go create, and as we all can see, we've got .NET 3.1 running. So we just bear that in mind. So I'm just gonna pause it while the whole thing loads. So as we've got the app loading or loaded, I'll talk briefly about the components of a Blazor application. Blazor apps are based on components. A component in Blazor is an element of a UI, such as page, dialog, data entry form. The components are .NET classes built into .NET assemblies that define flexible UI rendering logics, handle user events, can be nested and reused, It can be shared and distributed as a Razor class library or NuGet package. Component class is usually written in the form of Razor markup page with .razor file extension. Components in Blazor are formally referred to as Razor components. Razor is a syntax for combining HTML markup with C# coding design for developer productivity. Razor allows you to switch between HTML markup and C# in the same file with IntelliSense supports. Razor pages and MVC also use Razor. Unlike Razor pages and MVC, which are built around a request-response model, components are used specifically for client-side UI logics and compositions. So I'll make an example in that as well. So that's it, just about. So right now we look at the code and explore what we've got. So first of all, we go to the startup.cs. So as you can see, the startup, it's not much different. It's pretty much the same as the usual .NET Core application startup. But if you look at the configuration, we've actually registered these services: add Razor pages, add service Blazor, add singleton. That's the weather forecast. That's just a service that is used in this boilerplate. And if you can see, we go down. We've actually mapped the signal out endpoints. So we've got the underscore host as our endpoint, and we've got the routing as well. We use the static files as well here. So it's pretty much similar to your usual .NET Core application. So we go to the data part as well. So here, this is where we've got a model for creating the weather forecast, and then the services that will be implemented, that will be consumed by the client. So as you can see, we've got a model for weather forecast, and then we've got a class, a service that is created for that model. So here we come to the shared part of it here. So we come to the main layout. It's still the Razor page, right? So this is where, or we could actually go to the pages. This is where the body is referenced. So we come to the pages here. So as you can see, we look at the counter.razor. So here we've got a very simple Razor page or a component called a counter, and here we've got this bit here, this method, current count, and this method is implemented here as a code. Yeah, so the current count or the current count here, the method is an increment count, and then the current count is just an integer variable. So basically, when the button is clicked, a number is just added to the current count, which is now set to 0. So if you get the gist. So basically, this would normally be done using JavaScript, but in this case, as you can see, it's a C# code that is being used on the UI side. So that same thing applies to the fetch data, which is being called out. You see, there's using the inject the weather forecast, and there's a service that, and here if you scroll down here, this is the code to initialize the service. So basically, and this one will be the return. So the forecast service here. So if we look at it here, we have our forecast. So we loop through our forecast to get a weather forecast model, and here we can put a value, doing it the same. But as we can see here, there's one more thing that we need to know. This is just connecting to the server side directly using the signal out. This is not this is not happening only under the UI. But the next bit is, of course, we will have a look at how that happens. Then one more thing, we've got a component, the underscore host. This is where the server is registered, right? So if we scroll down, this is where we get all the signal out stuff. We get it saved. So you should bear in that mind. So basically, on the next bit, yeah, I will start from scratch in terms of building um, uh, the web assembly app, like using the same strategy, but obviously there will not be any the server side. It will be mostly running on the client. So please bear in mind as well. So yeah, this how far I can get. But on the next video, we will start from scratch and we start writing the code to see how far we can get. So if you haven't actually subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. If you have, then stay tuned. Have a lovely day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Peace.